Thank you very much, Maria Rosa. It's a pleasure for me to be here today and participate in this discussion on the very important subject of how to go forward and enable a more digital European economy. I'm a German economist working mostly on the German economy, but I'm confident that my research insights into the state of digitalization of German companies will allow for some helpful insights for other EU countries and the overall picture as well. So I'm going to come at this from the data side. We conducted a quantitative analysis of the state of digitalization of German companies late last year, using a large number of indicators and resulting in an index for German companies. Without going into much detail, I would just like to showcase the three results that I think are most relevant for today's discussion. The first one is that SMEs lag behind in digitalization, and a couple of the speakers before me already pointed this out. In our index, large companies with at least 250 employees reach an index value that is more than double than that of small companies with up to 50 employees. So this might be a question of resources on the part of the small companies. This might be a question of a lack of support, but we see this result across most of the indicators that we used in the index. So considering for Germany that SMEs are make up the large majority of companies, there is an urgent need to help them catch up. And this is very likely to be similar in other EU countries. The second result that I would like to talk about is that there are large regional disparities in the digitalization of companies in Germany. These manifest themselves on the level of larger regions. So in Germany, this would be north versus south versus east versus west. For example, the south of Germany reaches a 12% higher index value than any other region. So we have disparities there. But also the disparities show on a micro level of types of regions. So metropolitan areas, agglomerations, outperform low-density rural areas by far. While this is not a surprising result, it needs to be addressed. The third point, and this has been talked about to a great extent today, is that digital infrastructure is still an issue. It's still, for German companies, the main problem. We asked companies in a survey to address the relevance of different influential factors for the digitalization of their business. Among these factors were the accessibilities of digital competencies, the digitalization of processes, the existence of innovation capabilities, as well as the legal framework, for example. Among 10 such influential factors, digital infrastructure was allocated by far the greatest relevance. So it is a relevant factor, and at least for Germany, it still contributes largely to the slow dynamic of digitalization of industry and of companies overall. So this is another area that we should focus on looking forward and looking on where to invest. So overall, what can we learn from these results from German economic research? It's a German perspective, but it still holds for other EU countries, I think. And investment that aims to foster digitalization should focus on SMEs, independent of the sectors of the economy that they're in. It should help them catch up because digitalization works in network, and a network can only be as strong as its weakest link. And we cannot allow this to happen and allow this to be the small companies that carry a lot of the European economies. Then we need to reduce the regional disparities, and this goes hand in hand with digital infrastructure because this is the backbone of digitalization, and we cannot allow white spots as we heard about earlier. Especially with respect to the development and implementation of 5G networks and prospectively also 6G. Thank you. That's it from me. I'm happy to take the question in the Q&A session. Thank you.